Hello class 10th. Here I am going to begin chapter The 100 Dresses by Albassar Easter. This part of the story is in the continuation of the previous one. As you have come to know, Wanda leaves the school without any prior information. Even she didn't attend the school when the result of the drawing contest was declared. But here you will come to know her father writes a letter to Miss Mason about the reason. The students feel ashamed for their behavior, especially Peggy and Maddie. They both realize their mistake and were going to write a letter to Wanda in a friendly manner. So let's see how they are going to repent about their mistake. See the first paragraph. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. Attention class, everyone back to their seat. Here the story begins when the whole class was taking the round and looking with wonder at the amazing drawings of Wanda and praising her work. The monitor of the class, he brought a piece of note for Miss Mason, the class teacher. Miss Mason read the note multiple times. She gave a very thoughtful look to it, and then she decided to gather the class to read it loudly, as she could not believe what was written there in the note. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you. When the shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read to you. When all the disturbance of the class, even the shuffling of the footsteps had stopped, and the room was properly settled and quiet, then Miss Mason announced that there was a letter from Wanda's father that she wanted to read before all. Miss Mason stood there a moment, and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Tense means worried, expectant, that means hopeful. Hence, when Miss Mason called the class and stood quietly and silently for a moment over there, this created the tension and worries among the students. They became excited to know what would be the matter. Then she adjusted her spectacles, which made it clear how important the note was going to be. Her manner indicated that what was coming. This letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. As the manner of the teacher and adjusting her glasses deliberately, that moment it made the show to everyone. So whatever note had come from Wanda's father's side, it was going to be quite serious. So everyone became very attentive to listen about the brief note by the class teacher. Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also, now we move away to big city. No more holler, Pollock. No more ask, why funny name? Plenty of funny names in the big city. Yours truly, Jan Petronuski. The teacher started reading the letter. It began with a salutation to Miss Mason. Wanda's father had conveyed his intention of not sending both his children, Wanda and Jake, to the school anymore. He mentioned that they were shifting to another city, the big one, where no one would hurt them for having the strange names. As in the big city, there would be already lot of people with the strange names, so they won't be insulted and hurt by the comments of the people or the children. Then in the closer, Wanda's father, he has written his name, Jan Petronuski. A deep silence met the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on a soft white handkerchief. Then she put them on again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice was very low. After hearing this letter, it had the immediate effect on the class. The deep silence prevailed in the room. Everyone was left speechless. Miss Mason, she was also stunned, and therefore she cleaned her glasses with her white handkerchief, and then she wore them again. And then, after this, she addressed to the class in a very low and serious tone. I'm sure that none of the boys and the girls in the room number 13 could ever hurt anyone purposely and intentionally for having long and strange name. She never expected from the children of her class to behave this way and hurt anyone's feelings. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel the way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happened, unfortunate and sad both, and I want you all to think about it. Unfortunately, that means bad luck. Here, Miss Mason, she gave the children of the class the benefit of doubt. She said, whatever had gone, it was done unintentionally, thoughtlessly. It was quite serious and bad for Wanda. And everyone of the class, they have to introspect themselves what mistake they had done with that poor girl. The first period was a study period. Maddie tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. Now everyone in the class was disturbed to know about the content of the letter, and this made everyone thoughtful. Thus, in the first period, Maddie was also quite upset. She could not concentrate on her studies. She felt sick for not stopping her close friend Peggy at the right time. She felt guilty if she had stopped Peggy from playing the dress game with Wanda. Things could have been quite different. She had stood by silently. That was just as bad as what Peggy had done. Worse, she was a coward. Coward, that means not brave. Here, Maddie was cursing herself for standing quietly by the side of Peggy. She felt she should be equally blamed for doing wrong, as she never had the courage to stop her friend for doing such wrong with that poor girl. At least Peggy had not considered they were being mean, but Maddie had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. Though Maddie had never teased Wanda herself, but as she had never stopped Peggy from doing it, she was feeling equally now wrong. Though she knew it, Peggy's intentions were never to hurt Wanda, as she was never aware that her game could hurt the feelings of that poor girl. Maddie, on the other hand, was aware of the whole impact, what it could have on that helpless girl. Yet she felt why she stood silent, why she showed her cowardice for not standing and fighting against what was wrong. Being poor herself, now Paddy could put herself in Wanda's shoes and could now feel the sufferings and the insults of that poor girl. Goodness, was not there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she had not meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy. But Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Right now, Maddie felt guilty and regretful whatever she had done. She wished for a chance to apologize before Wanda. She hoped that she should meet Wanda again and clear her that she never intended to hurt the feelings of that poor girl. Thinking of this, when Maddie turned around and she gave the look at Peggy, she found Peggy was busy in studying something hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie had to do something. She had to find Wanda Petronuski. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Regardless of the feelings of her close friend, now Paddy, she decided she would overlook the feelings of Peggy. She would do something and would go and find Wanda Petronuski. She might be right now, would be in the city and had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her and they would tell Wanda she had won the contest. They thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. However, Maddie felt and hoped that her close friend would possibly feel regret about her mistake and would possibly accompany Maddie to find Wanda in the Boggin Heights with her. And there they would feel sorry before Wanda and would inform Wanda about her winning the first prize in the drawing competition. Then they would also appreciate the unexceptional talent of the girl and would tell that really her 100 dresses all are really beautiful one. When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if that kid has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really alright. Pretend means to make sure. Casualness, that means to show, to be careless. Glowed means shining. Here means excitement. Hence, in the same afternoon, when the school was over, Peggy asked Maddie very casually if they could go and check if Wanda had still left the town or not. Maddie felt satisfied to know that they both were feeling the same and they had same plans of going to Wanda's house to apologize before the girl. So she became excited and thought Peg was alright. The two girls hurried out of the building up the street toward Boggins Heights, the part of the town that wore such a forbidding air on this kind of November afternoon, drizzly, damp and dismal. Forbidding, that means unfriendly or threatening in nature. Drizzly, that means rainy. Damp and dismal, that means wet and sad. Here express the state of hopelessness. Gruffly, that means roughly. Hence both these girls, they came out hurriedly from the school building and started moving towards the street which was leading towards the Boggin Heights, the part of the city which was always full of filthy and unfriendly air. Even in the dry month of November and during the afternoon time, this place was full of wet rain and the atmosphere, it was full of disappointment and sadness, which was truly representing the lives of the poor slum people. "Well, at least," said Peggy gruffly, "I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb. And gee, look how she can draw." Gruffly, that means roughly. Dumb, that means brainless. or silly. In these lines, Peggy tried to hide her mistake of hurting the poor girl Wanda, but tried to comfort her soul by speaking roughly that she did never make fun of Wanda by calling her the foreigner, or even she made fun of the girl to have the long, strange, and unfamiliar name. She said she was believing that the girl had no sense and she was going to be quite dumb to understand the jokes of the children. She hereby praised wanted to be the great artist. Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was they could find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away, and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. On the other hand, Maddie was quiet. She was not saying anything. She was only hoping that they would be able to find the poor girl Wanda. She wanted to make confession. On the other hand, Maddie was quiet. She was not saying anything. She was only wishing that they would be able to find the poor girl Wanda in the Boggin Heights there. She was thinking that she would feel sorry and made confession before Wanda what wrong they did with her. She hoped that even she would try to stop Wanda to move away from the city. In fact, she also made up the mind to convey the message to Wanda that they were going to protect Wanda if anyone would try to trouble her. In this way, she thought she would give assurance of giving protection to Wanda in the city and would console that everything would be nice with her in the school now. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get to the top of the hill before dark. In order to reach the top of the hill before falling of the night, both the girls, they hurried up their way over there. I think that's where the Patronus kids live, said Maddie, pointing to a little white house. Wisp of old grass stuck up here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. The house and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. It reminded Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. Wisp means pieces, sparse that means little. Shabby means dirty. In these lines, Maddie pointed towards a little white house and said that was the house where Patronuski family lived. Then they found the thin bunches of the grass had grown along the path that was leading towards the house of the Patronuski family. They resembled these bunches with the thin kittens. And then they also found the house and its surroundings. They were though looking shabby but clean, just like Wanda's one worn out blue dress. Her faded blue dress also though look shabby but always clean, just like this house. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still, there was no answer. These girls found no sign of life around the house. That means there was no one could be seen around there. Then Peggy knocked strongly on the front door, but still no reply. Then they moved towards the backyard door. But to their very disappointment, still there was no answer. There was no doubt about it. The Petronas were gone. How could they ever make amends? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Make amends, that means to do something good for feeling sorry for some mistake. When the girls found that the Petronas had gone away, so they felt, along with them, their last chance to make amendment in their mistake was also lost now. They started now returning back down from the hill to their homes. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now. So what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. In the back journey, at first, Peggy felt sorry that she had lost a chance of regretting about her mistake. Then she tried to defend herself by saying that if she had not teased Wanda about her 100 dresses, she would never have got the inspiration to draw such beautiful dresses and won the drawing competition. She even felt if she had not done so, then Wanda would never have won any prize in the drawing competition. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night, she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in. Hence, Maddie also tried to convince herself with the idea what Maddie had given, that if there was something good in hurting the girl, so there is no need to feel so bad. But later that night, when Maddie was going to sleep, she was then thinking constantly about Wanda and her little house and her faded blue dress. And she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in the bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought this was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long, long time, she reached an important conclusion. Glowing means beautiful. Hence, once again, the thought about Wanda and her 100 dresses, which were now hanging in the classroom wall in place of Wanda's closet at her home. She felt so much pressure on her mind. She sat up on her bed and then pressed her forehead tightly with her both hands and started thinking only about the insult which they made of this poor girl. It was the first time in her life that she was thinking hardly about something which she had done wrong in the life. Then, after thinking so much and so deeply, she made up her mind that she would now stand against all the wrongs and would say if somebody would do something wrong with someone. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Wanda, but from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. Picking on someone means criticizing someone. However, Maddie decided that she would now never let anyone make fun of others because of their appearances, names, clothes, or the place from where they were coming. She would never hesitate to speak up against anyone, even against Peggy, even if it meant losing the friendship with. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronaski. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. Here is said, on Saturday, both these girls they sat together and now they decided they would write a letter to Wanda telling her about the contest and they would inform she was the winner in this contest. So it would be their friendly letter to this poor girl. They told her how pretty her drawings were and they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X for love. In this letter, the girls praised about everything of her unexceptional drawing skills, and they also inquired about a new place of living and even inquired about a new school and the new teacher. But they did not have the courage to write in the letter to apologize for what wrong they did with Wanda. They ended up the letter just like a friendly letter is closed. They write the words like lots of love for that girl. However, they closed the letter by extending the lots of love for Wanda and signing by their names. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. Then they mailed this letter to the address of the Boggins Heights. They made the closure of this letter by signing their names over there and extending their lots of love to Wanda just like she was their good friend. They mailed the letter to Boggins Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. As the girls didn't know about the new address of Wanda, they mailed this letter on the address of the Boggins Heights and wrote the note over it, please forward. Weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with how many dresses have you got? In this way, many weeks had passed. The girls waited for the reply from Wanda's side, but of no use. Thus, Peggy started forgetting about the whole incident. But Maddie was so upset. She used to make scenario in her head before sleeping every night, where she tried to defend Wanda from the large groups of girls which were surrounding and teasing Wanda by asking her how many dresses she had got. And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop!" Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. And before getting any reaction from Wanda, which she usually did in such situations by pressing her lips together, Maddie used to interrupt and support Wanda in her dreams by shouting at the group of girls very loudly to stop this. And then everybody felt ashamed and they behaved just like the Wanda felt in similar situations. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school, before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. It is described the winter season started. Along with had come the Christmas festival, but there was snow everywhere on the ground. They decorated their classrooms with bells and a small tree to celebrate the festival. It was their last day before the starting of the holidays. That day, Miss Mason, their class teacher, she informed the class that she had received a letter from Wanda Petronuski. She showed it to the students. You remember Wanda Petronuski, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me. I'm glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. The teacher was quite pleased to get this letter from Wanda Petronuski. She asked the class if they still remembered about that gifted child who had won the first prize in the drawing contest. She was very glad that she would be able now to send her achievements prize and medal at her address. Right now, she felt pleased to read the letter before the class. The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. Intently, that means with full attention. Dear Miss Mason, how are you? And room 13. Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with red trimming and her friend Mary to have the blue one. For Christmas, I missed at school and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronuski. Wanda had written this letter in a friendly tone. She had addressed to the class teacher and asked about everyone of her class. She had also informed that all the classmates they could keep her 100 dresses because in her new house she had got another lot of 100 dresses lined up in a closet. She specifically mentioned the dresses which should be taken by Maddie and Peggy to take their homes. The green dress with red trimmings would be for Peggy, while the blue one for Maddie. She also expressed her affections towards Miss Mason. She mentioned her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. She ended up the letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas and also mentioned that she missed everyone from this room number 13. With this, she ended the letter by writing her name at the bottom. On the way home from school, Mary and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy peppermint sticks and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper were strung. Wreaths means garlands. Holly, so these are the kind of plants with white flowers and red berries used during the Christmas decorations. Stacked, that means to arrange neatly. Cornucopias, so these are the decorative containers having flowers and fruits inside. So here it is said, when these both girls they started their back journey to home from the school, they were holding very carefully the drawings gifted to them by Wanda. They found that due to the Christmas festival, all the houses and every window they were decorated with the garlands and the holy plants. They found that outside every grocery shop there were the decoration of more than 100 number of the Christmas trees, and even on every window they found the decoration of candy peppermint sticks and cornucopias of shiny, transparent papers. So they found hanging these decoration on every shop, every window, and every house. As soon as Maddie reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture. Peggy was surprised what was the matter. Both the girls went up to the room where the drawing was. Maddie raised the picture which was lying on the bed and showed it to Peggy and said it was Peggy in that drawing. Both were left in shock to see that the head and the face of the picture, it really looked like Peggy. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got a letter. This is a way of saying that everything is alright. And that is that. Now, in between their back journey, Peggy talked to Maddie and she said that this gesture of Wanda, it implies that Wanda liked both of them. They now assumed that Wanda had got a letter. Now in the back journey, Peggy got the chance now to talk to Maddie. She said that this gesture of Wanda's gifting these beautiful sketches, it implied that Wanda liked both of them. They started assuming that Wanda had got their letter, and this reply back, it was the indication that there was no ill feeling about them in Wanda's mind. Everything was peaceful between them. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight lip polish girl again and could not ever really make things right between them. But on the other hand, Maddie was feeling quite sad because she knew it very well that she would never be able to see tight lip polish girl again in her life, and she would never get the chance to make recovery of the mistakes which they did with this poor girl. She went home and she pinned the drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Brilliancy, that means brightness. Shabby means dirty. So, as soon as Maddie reached home, she pinned the drawing gifted by Wanda on that part of the wall from where her pink flowered wallpaper was slightly torn. And suddenly she found her shabby looking room with the presence of this drawing over the wall made it look quite lively. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. Hence, Maddie sat down and started now gazing at this drawing constantly and thought in her mind how nice Wanda had been to them. They had been so cruel to her, but she had given in return such a nice, beautiful, colorful drawing to them. Tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing. Intently means keenly. Then vivid, it means clear. While staring at the drawing of the Wanda, Maddie turned to be very emotional. The tears started rolling down from her eyes, which made her vision got blurred. But suddenly, she noticed very keenly something in the drawing that she had to rub her eyes. She found that the colors of the dress were so bright and vibrant, she could not notice the face and the head of the drawing. But it looked like her. Maddie, it really looked like her own mouth. Why? It really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's. Due to the bright colors, Maddie had hardly noticed the face and the head in the drawing. It was like her, even her own mouth. It resembles to her own self. So she got excited. She ran towards Peggy to check if she had also noticed the same thing. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy as they clattered up to a room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed, and head and the face of the picture did look like Peggy. Clattered up means walked up. As soon as Maddie reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture. Peggy was surprised. What was the matter? Both the girls went up to the room where the drawing was. Maddie raised the picture which was lying on the bed and showed it to Peggy and said it was Peggy in that drawing. Both were left in shock to see that the head and the face of the picture, it really looked like Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off. After she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. Stolidly, that means not showing any emotion. However, Peggy expressed that she was right about the thought that Wanda personally liked both of them. Maddie also agreed, but her eyes get filled with tears every time when she recalled the memory about Wanda, how she was standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, and all the girls who were making fun of her. Then Wanda walked away firmly, ignoring all these girls by saying that she had really the 100 dresses all lined up in her closet. Now Peggy and Maddie, they had also got the proof that Wanda was true. She had really the 100 dresses in the form of these beautiful sketches.